Hello guys, this is TheKaijudoChannel here, bringing you the Tatsurion deck analysis now. So, a fun fact before I talk about this deck, after going through the card rarities of all the cards, it turns out that this deck actually has more than twice as much uncommons than the Tatsurion deck. I found that very interesting. Pretty much, this deck has, I think, 15 uncommons, while the Tatsurion one has 7. So, I don't know, I found that to be kind of neat. Anyways, so we're gonna go into the darkness civ. It's a pretty big civ, so I'm gonna talk about that one first. So, in the 2-drop creatures, we get 3 Brain Squirmer. It's, a very small beater. He's level 2 and he's a rotworm. That's pretty much the key significance of Brain Squirmer, is that he is a rotworm and he works very well with Horrid Stinger coming up. So I think I'll go ahead and skip to the other worms right now, just to explain them all. So you get 3 of each vanilla worm. You get this one, which is pretty good because it's a cheap level 2, but then you get this one, which isn't as great. I'm sure there'll be better rot worms in the future, but this one's a level 4 3000, which, I guess is an option for now to combo well with Horrid Stinger, but for now, I guess it's fine, but in the future, I'm sure they'll be better. But Horrid Stinger, if you do plan to play some sort of worm deck in the future, you should definitely stock up on these, because these guys, they boost up all of your other rotworms on the field by 2000 power. So having, a couple of these guys and a graveworm hatchling on your field, and then you bring out this, they're pretty much all really big beat sticks now. You have 4000, 5000, stuff like that, and I'm sure in the future there'll be some very neat other worms that have pretty cool effects. So keep in mind with this guy, maybe in the future Horrid Stinger could be pretty good in some sort of worm deck. Now for the other level 2 creature in the darkness section is Skeeter Swarmer. You guys should all know him as Bloody Skeeto in Duel Masters. It's the exact same effect. These cards are just great blockers because of the fact that it has 4000 power. So any creature with 4000 or less kind of has to stare this down and be like, do I really want to ram into this guy when I could be keeping the creature? So you should definitely stock up on these cards right here. Now for level 3 we got Dream Pirate. This one's an interesting one. It has blocker, and then if it attacks, he banishes himself. I guess it's pretty neat for now, but who knows. Now, Skullcutter, however, Skullcutter is really cool. So it's a level 3, 1000 power Slayer, and Slayers are surprisingly a lot better than you may think. If he loses a battle, he takes down the other creature who Skullcutter battled with him, so your opponent could have a Tatsurion tapped and have no blockers, and you could just go, I'm going to attack with Skullcutter, and then they lose their Tatsurion, and you only lose a Skullcutter, which is a really good deal on your part. So definitely stock up on these guys, I would say, for the early part of the game until maybe better Slayers are out. Now this card is great. Definitely get 3 of these. You get 2 already in just 1. You get Fumes. It's a level 4 2000 power creature, and when you play it, it forces your opponent to choose a card in their hand and discard it. So this is a very great card. Even though you don't get to choose or look at their hand, just the fact that they're losing a card in their hand, no matter what, is really awesome. So definitely get 3 of these because these are very great in control decks. Now, easily, in my opinion, the best kind of attacker out of both decks is Zagaan the Bone Knight. Now, he is just a simple level 6, 7000 power double breaker. But if you compare this to the double breaker vanilla card in the Tatsurion deck, it's a level 7 compared to this one, which is a level 6 with the exact same stats. And just this guy's really big, and he gets out turn 6, and you could just do really awesome things with him. So definitely keep an eye out on this. Tornado Flame can't destroy this. The only cards that can are, the bounce cards, but he'll come back anyway. Terror Pit, Root Trap, and all that. There's not many options to get rid of this guy. So for now, I suggest you definitely pick up copies of this guy for, this kind of battle decks meta. Then we get the star of the deck. We have Razorkinder. Also a very, very underrated card. People just did not see the power of this card at first. But, come on. He is a level 7, 4000, and you're destroying an untapped creature when he comes into play. That is amazing. First of all, you're getting a +1 because you're destroying one of their creatures. It doesn't even matter what creature it is. It could be a weak card. It doesn't matter. You are getting advantage on your opponent right there. And just the fact that Death Smoke is now level 5 in this game. Now, think about it. Like, if Death Smoke is worth 5, you're paying 5 to use this effect, and then you're getting a level 2 4000. You're getting pretty much a Gonta and a Death Smoke. This card is really good, and I definitely suggest getting 3 of these somehow. Very, very good card. Now, this one, not as great. However, it is the card with the most power out of all the cards in the battle decks. Gigargon is a level 8, 9000 power double breaker. So, I mean, if you want to have the biggest guy at all times, you should definitely run this guy. But I still think that the fact that Zagaan is cheaper, you should definitely go with Zagaan over him. But maybe you could play 1 or 2 of this guy. I mean, can't stop you. Now we go on to the spells. We got 3 Bone Blades. Really awesome that you get 3 of them. It's a very neat card. It's a Shield Blast level 4, and you're banishing. Sorry, you're banishing a level 4 or lower creature on your enemy's side of the field. So very, very good card. The thing about Kaijudo is that in Kaijudo, pretty much everything happens turn 4. In Duel Masters, it used to be turn 3. But in Kaijudo, turn 4 is the key turn of this game. I mean, there's Hydro Spy, Bronze Arm Tribe, Draglide, the only fast attacker. There's just so many level 4 cards that hit the board, and so these cards are very relevant. So these 3, you'll be fine with just 1 battle dex because you'll get 3. You get 1 Death Smoke. Death Smoke, I mean, it's not great when you compare it to Razorkinder, but hey, I mean, it's another option for destroying creatures if you really want to use it. And then we got easily the best destruction in the whole dex combined, Terror Pit. You just play this and you're destroying anything or banishing. We really got to get used to this. I'm just really sorry I'm saying destroy all the time. I mean, you can't blame me. I mean, even TheKaijudo.com had destroy in one of their FAQs for a little while, so we just got to get used to this new terminology. I'm really sorry for messing up all the time. Okay, so now we're going to go to the water section. So you only get 1 Reef Eye, apparently. I'm kind of surprised, because it's a really great blocker. It's the cheapest blocker that doesn't kind of, explode like Skeeter Swarmer does. But Reef Eye is just a very nice level 2 3000 and is a very good level 2 blocker until, I'm guessing, the dojo comes out where the light civilization will bring a lot better ones. So Reef Eye is definitely a good card to get 3 of for now. And then we got 2 Aqua Seneschal. Now this card is also very underrated. I see this card being amazing for at least this whole year because of the fact that you're drawing so many cards with this. I mean, I know you have to attack to draw a card, but just the fact that it at least has 2000 power and the fact that you can clear out a lot of creatures or blockers and you could protect this with your own blockers, you'll be drawing at the very least 2 cards, I would think, off of this card. I mean, you could just draw so many cards off this, and just the fact that it's a Cyberlord is quite promising because Cyberlords might have some neat support later on. So Aqua Seneschal, very good, definitely get 3 of them. Same thing for this guy, Hydro Spy. It's pretty much a weakened form of Aqua Hulkus in the original game, but who cares? I mean, it's still getting you a card in your hand, and you can't really complain there. I would definitely at least get 3 of these as well. Now, the biggest blocker in the battle decks is Frogzooka. Really, really awesome. It's a level 4 5000. There's not much else to say, but this card will also be very good for at least this whole year, along with Skeeter Swarmer and all those other cards I mentioned, so definitely pick up a lot of these as well. Now we get on to the funny part of the deck. Hydrobot Crab. Oh, yes. You know what this guy reminds me of? He reminds me of Scissor Eye in the original game. Scissor Eye was one of those comedy cards that, I think it was Tom Rogers was the one who kept on teching one in his deck just for fun. Well, this is the Scissor Eye of Kaijudo. A very funny card. It's an undertow engine and it's crazy. And, yeah. You should definitely play these, okay? Definitely play them in all your decks. They're really good. Alright, King Pontias. Now, I said Pontias in some other video or something. It's actually Pontias. Now, I really like cards that can't be blocked, or any sort of like support for not being blocked. I think it's just very nice for aggro decks to be able to push without worrying about blockers. So this is the only card that does that. So I mean, it's not amazing. I mean, it is a level 6 4000 that does it, but either way, I still think unblockable is very, very good. So I would keep an eye on this card, but I wouldn't go too crazy on it just yet. Now we got King Nautilus. Now here I'm also kind of on the fence with this card. I mean, just the fact that if you take 2 Aqua Seneschals, bam, bam. I mean, if you play 2 of these and attack with these, you're getting the same effect as this. The only reason you want to play this over these is the fact that it has 5000 power, which is pretty big right now. But I think in the future, I think he'll kind of be overshadowed by other great draw power cards and stuff, and we won't really see much play. But I think I want to test this guy out. I'm very curious about it. It's a very interesting effect. I mean, it's double Seneschal. You're drawing 2 on every attack. So you're getting a +2 on every attack, which is pretty ridiculous. I'm kind of curious about it, but the fact that it's level 7 kind of leads me to believe that it'd be really hard to get, good use out of it. But maybe combined with some sort of nature mana accelerating engine, maybe it would be good, but other than that, I'm really not too sure about this card. I don't see too many great things, so I wouldn't go crazy on this card just yet. Now for the spells, you get 2 Ice Blade. I would definitely get a 3rd one of these. I mean, it is a weaker Spiral Gate from the original game, but hey, it's still really good. It's a level 2 Shield Blast that bounces an enemy level 4 or lower creature to their hand, so this is very nice. It's just cheap removal, kind of, but it's going to their hand, so you're actually losing a card by playing this. But just the fact that you can get rid of something really annoying and kind of set your enemy's turn back a little bit is pretty neat. So, I mean, this will be a pretty good card for quite a long time as well. Now we got Brain Serum, Spy Mission, sorry. Spy Mission is just a Shield Blast that draws you 2. Now, for now, it's very good. It could be good in the future as well. But we do know now that we will have an energy stream in the game, probably in the dojo. So obviously you're going to want to play that card instead of this. But hey, if you're running a deck that relies on Shield Blast or something, you should definitely use these instead. I mean, I don't see why not. Or you could even just make this huge draw power engine thing and use 3 of these. Because maybe 3, energy streams are not enough. So maybe you could add 1 of these, or it's very nice that you have the option to play more draw cards. And lastly, the very interesting card of this deck is Teleport. Now, here's another card I'm kind of on the fence with. I mean, it's pretty cool that you're doing 2 things with 1 card, but, I mean, it's not a Shield Blast, it's a level 5, and to me, I see Teleport kind of like a Death Smoke card. It's good, but it's also not amazing. I mean, you're bouncing any creature, that's very cool. And it's not even just your opponents, it could be yours as well, so if you want to reuse a Hydro Spy or something, that's very cool. But I don't know if it's really worth it. But hey, you get a threat off the board, and then you draw a card as well. So, I mean, you're not losing advantage by playing this, which is nice. But I think just the fact that you're trying to do too many things with 1 card kind of defeats the purpose of using it. But I honestly don't know yet. This card could be really ridiculous, so I don't know yet, but I would definitely at least pick up 3, just in case. This is a very interesting card. I think I went more in depth with this deck than the Tatsurion deck, and that's because there's so many great cards in this deck. I mean, if you wanted to ask my opinion, to be truly honest, not because of the whole rarity thing and that this has more uncommons, but I personally think the Razorkinder deck is actually quite a lot better deck than the Tatsurion deck, just for the fact that you have great attackers just like the Tatsurion deck, while you also have the option to destroy tons of creatures and then draw more cards to get more destruction or attackers, and has tons of blockers as well. It's just a very versatile deck. I just think overall it's quite a bit better than the Tatsurion deck. But I'm not saying that the Tatsurion deck is like terrible or anything. I'm just saying in comparison, I just think this one is better in my opinion anyways. But as far as the Tatsurion deck goes, you could definitely improve that quite a bit to be a really good deck. I mean, Tornado Flame, there's so many good cards. I already went over it in the Tatsurion deck. you could do some pretty good things with those cards as well. So that is it for the Razorkinder deck analysis. I'm sorry if my video was really long, but I just had a lot to talk about in this deck. So now that I've finally uploaded all the deck analysis videos and openings and stuff, now I can finally get to uploading a video duel. So I actually have a video duel set up. It's probably going to be up after you see this video, so somewhere on the weekend probably I will have a video duel up with the two decks unmodified because I only have one battle dex. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be really fun. It is really long though. I mean, I'm playing with my sister who's just learning about the game again, so the whole match is like a good 40-50 minutes or so. So I'm probably gonna split up the games into a couple parts, and you'll just see where that goes. So maybe I'll do some editing on them as well, so that you don't have to wait so long in between turns. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you enjoy my future videos. This is the TheKaijudoChannel signing off. See you later, guys.